I was having coffee with a friend the other day, just catching up, nothing serious, and he said something that really stuck with me. He goes, "Ian, I get paid on Friday, and somehow I'm already stressed again by Monday." And he laughed when he said it. Not a big laugh, one of those half laughs that's more like, yeah, this is funny, but also not really. And I remember thinking, that's not just him, that's almost everyone I know. People who work hard, people who are smart, people who follow all the rules, and yet they feel trapped. Because here's the thing, salary feels safe, right? Regular paychecks, predictable income, structured, comforting. But what most people don't realize is that salary is a tool for predictability, not wealth. It's a system designed to keep life moving steadily, but not to give you financial freedom. And the longer you stay inside that system, the more your brain starts thinking in cycles, paycheck to paycheck, instead of thinking long term. Can I make it to next Friday? Can I pay the bills? Can I survive the month? And before you know it, long-term thinking quietly disappears. My name is Ian, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, income, and why so many hardworking people still feel broke, even when they're doing everything right. And if you're someone who earns a salary, pays the bills, and still feels like you're running on a treadmill that never stops, or you keep saying, I'll start investing when things settle down, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're breaking down why the salary system keeps people stuck, and more importantly, how to start stepping out of it. Let's talk numbers. Say you earn $60,000 a year. Sounds solid, right? After taxes, maybe you take home $45,000. Subtract housing, $1,500 a month, that's $18,000 gone. Food, $500 a month, $6,000. Utilities, insurance, transport, phone, subscriptions, easily $8,000 to $10,000. That leaves around $10,000 for emergencies, for travel, for birthdays, holidays, or just a little fun. Suddenly, that decent salary feels tight, and as your salary grows, lifestyle inflation quietly sneaks in. A slightly bigger apartment, a nicer car, more takeout because you're tired. And your stress level doesn't go down, it often goes up. Now, you might be thinking, Ian, at least salary is stable, I know what's coming in. Yeah, until it isn't. Your salary depends on your job, your health, your company, the economy, decisions you don't control. The moment one of those breaks, the income stops, instantly. That's not security, that's borrowed comfort. Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And that's exactly it. Salary is trading time for money. 1 hour of work, 1 unit of income. There's a hard limit to how much you can earn this way. No leverage, no growth without additional work. This is the salary trap. It keeps you busy, tired, and focused on short-term survival instead of long-term progress. You keep telling yourself, I'll invest later, when life settles down, when I earn more. But life doesn't settle down. It keeps happening. Kids, bills, emergencies, responsibilities, you name it. And before you know it, decades have passed. I've seen this pattern over and over. 2 people, same income, same age, same lifestyle. One treats their salary as a destination. The other treats it as fuel. One spends it all, hoping the next raise will fix things. The other quietly redirects a portion into assets, investments, low-cost index funds, things that build over time. Not huge amounts, just consistent contributions. 10 years later, the difference is staggering. One is still living paycheck to paycheck. The other has options, freedom, choice. Here's what most people don't understand. The biggest gap isn't between someone earning $60,000 and someone earning $100,000. It's between someone who invests and someone who doesn't. Zero has a guaranteed return of 0, and inflation quietly eats it every year. But even a small, consistent habit compounds unbelievably over time. Let's do the math. Say you invest $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year. Over 30 years, at a conservative 7% annual return, you end up with roughly $340,000. That's not because you worked harder, not because you made a huge sacrifice. It's because you consistently redirected your salary into growth, while others let theirs slip through their fingers. And psychologically, this is huge. The act of starting, even small, changes how you see money. Suddenly, impulse purchases feel different. You pause and ask, do I really need this, or am I just bored or stressed? That shift in identity, from someone who spends everything to someone who invests first, is where the magic happens.
Charlie Munger once said, "The first $100,000 is a bitch." And he wasn't just talking about numbers, he meant mindset. The first step is hard because you're fighting decades of conditioning, but once momentum builds, everything flips. You start seeing opportunities instead of expenses. You start seeing your salary as a tool, not a trap. And here's another layer people rarely talk about. Salary trains you to feel productive without actually progressing. You're busy with emails, meetings, deadlines, commutes, notifications. You feel exhausted and think, yeah, I earned my money. But busyness isn't movement. You can be incredibly busy and still be stuck in the same financial place. That's dangerous because exhaustion keeps you from asking the right questions. Is this system actually working for me? Or am I just surviving? Let's make it real. Imagine a friend of yours, normal job, normal life, who earns $50,000 a year. He decides to automate $100 a month into a low-cost index fund. He forgets about it half the time. Life happens. Work, kids, bills, emergencies, birthdays, holidays. And 20 years later, that quiet $100 a month has grown into a six-figure balance. Meanwhile, a neighbor with the same salary keeps waiting for the perfect moment to start investing. That moment never comes. Life just keeps happening. And that's the salary trap in action. Now, let's talk psychology. Salary makes you think in scarcity, even when you earn enough. Your brain labels money emotionally, not mathematically. You stress over a $5 overdraft fee, but ignore $100 going into an investment. Same money, different mental bucket. Behavioral economists call this mental accounting. Understanding it is key because you can hack your own behavior. You can train yourself to value long-term growth over instant gratification. Here's the takeaway. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need a huge windfall. You just need to start redirecting part of your salary into assets that grow. Even a small amount, done consistently, compounds in ways you won't believe until years later. Even small wins build confidence and change your identity. You start thinking like an investor, not just a worker. So here's your challenge. Look at your next paycheck. Pick a number. Small enough it doesn't hurt. Big enough it matters. Automate it. Do it before you spend, not with leftovers. Leftovers rarely exist. Start today. Start now. And slowly, quietly, watch your options, freedom, and control over your life grow. This isn't about hating your job, it's about not letting your job control your future. The salary trap only works if you stay inside it. Step out, build leverage, build assets, build yourself. I'm Ian. Don't be broke. See ya.